In the middle of a vast lake, surrounded by mountains, rose one of the most extraordinary cities ever built, Tenochtitlan, the jewel of the Aztec Empire. Floating gardens, dazzling temples, bustling canals, all built on water. How did a civilization without metal tools or beasts of burden turn a swamp into a mighty empire? Today, we uncover how the Aztecs built their floating world. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the bell to explore more incredible stories of ancient civilizations. The world of the Aztecs. Our story begins in the Valley of Mexico, a high mountain basin surrounded by volcanic peaks and 5 great lakes. By the early 1300s, the Aztecs, or Mexica as they called themselves, arrived here as wandering newcomers. Rejected by neighboring tribes and forced into the marshy islands of Lake Texcoco, they faced a simple choice: adapt or disappear. And so, from the mud and reeds of the lake, they began to build a city, one that would defy nature itself. Birth of Tenochtitlan. According to legend, their god, Huitzilopochtli, gave them a sign: an eagle perched on a cactus, devouring a serpent. They found that sign on a small island in Lake Texcoco, and there, in 1325 AD, they founded Tenochtitlan. At first, it was just a cluster of huts built on mud and reeds, but over the next 2 centuries, it would grow into a city of over 200,000 people, larger than most European cities of the same time. They didn't conquer the land, they created it. Building on water. To build on the lake, the Aztecs invented an ingenious technique, the chinampa, or floating garden. But the chinampas didn't actually float. They were rectangular plots built by driving wooden stakes into the lake bed, weaving them with reeds, and filling them with layers of mud and vegetation. Over time, these plots stabilized and merged into fertile islands, perfect for growing maize, beans, squash, and flowers. Canals separated each chinampa, creating a network of waterways that worked like natural streets. Boats glided silently between them, carrying food, goods, and people through the city. It was a living, breathing ecosystem, part farm, part neighborhood, part art. The City of Miracles. By the 1400s, Tenochtitlan had transformed into a masterpiece of urban design. Wide causeways connected the island to the mainland. Massive stone temples towered above gleaming white palaces, and in the heart of the city stood the Templo Mayor, the grand double pyramid dedicated to the gods of war and rain. The city's market at Tlatelolco was legendary, visited by over 60,000 people a day. There, traders sold gold, jade, cocoa, feathers, and exotic animals from every corner of Mesoamerica. Even Spanish conquistadors, upon seeing it for the first time, were stunned, calling it a vision of Venice in the New World. Engineering genius. But life on water came with challenges, especially floods, droughts, and salt water from the surrounding lakes. To solve this, the Aztecs built a massive dike separating the fresh water of Tenochtitlan from the salt water to the east. They also constructed aqueducts that brought clean spring water from the hills of Chapultepec into the city, engineering marvels made entirely of stone and gravity. Through innovation and cooperation, the Aztecs transformed a swamp into a self-sustaining metropolis, a balance between technology and nature that modern cities still struggle to achieve. The empire rose. From this island capital, the Aztecs expanded their influence across central Mexico. Through warfare, trade, and alliances, they built an empire of over 400 city-states. Their floating city became the beating heart of an empire, a place of power, faith, and sacrifice. Gold and tribute flowed into Tenochtitlan, funding temples, palaces, and festivals that honored their gods. It was a society driven by devotion and destiny, and for nearly 2 centuries they ruled the lakes and lands around them. The fall and legacy. In 1519, everything changed. Spanish conquistadors led by Hernán Cortés arrived on their shores. Despite their strength and brilliance, disease, betrayal, and superior weapons led to the fall of Tenochtitlan in 1521. The great city sank beneath the waters and beneath the foundations of modern-day Mexico City. But the Aztecs' legacy endures. Their ingenuity lives on in the canals of Xochimilco, in the art, language, and identity of modern Mexico. They didn't just build a city, they built a floating empire that still inspires the world today. The Aztecs proved that even in the harshest conditions, human creativity can make the impossible float. If you enjoyed this journey through history, hit subscribe, drop a comment with your thoughts, and join us next time for more lost worlds and ancient wonders.